victory, we the champions. Here in Los Angeles, we doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
Feeling like I can't miss. Baby, it's all in the wrist. You really wanna be the boss, it's expensive. Ain't the real champ if you never defend it. Put in that work, I'ma make them remember. I just broke down hella trees, yelling timber. Stand in the line, they put me in the center. It blow their mind when they see how I'm winning. Went back and doubled up, now you in trouble. My all hustle, my diamonds are huddled up. TGOD got this off the muscle. Ask me about my life, man, I love it, I love it. Got so many rings, I need room for another one. Been through the pain, now it ain't no more struggle. My team win the game, put our face on the cover, brother, we the champions.
Here in Los Angeles, we doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
What I never do. How you supposed to walk with me? I'm 80 steps ahead of you. My mind is on Socrates, all my balls on Rubik's Cube. Every time I do it, I just have to do it beautiful. I can't let this moment pass. Yeah, I know my time is now. Know my mama proud of me, and my grandma smiling down. Every time I turn it up, whole crowd be wilding out. Matter of fact, let me see your hands. Look, I saw my shot and I took it. I couldn't do it different. Couldn't afford to stop and go. I had to stay consistent. Made up my mind that no matter what, I gotta win. That's why it's always me and never them. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the Carolina Panthers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Come on, set!
They'll start the drive with Hill. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Can't we score? Man, I'm gonna put day jersey on. Are you kidding me?
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Going again on the ground here with Hill. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 20. Loss on that play. And now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. It's probably a pretty good sign on the opening drive of your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
The adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. He's going to have the 1st down and more than that. Touchdown, Detroit. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Mayfield and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Now this defense for the Lions, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Throwing, Mayfield. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he is going to have the Panthers 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. The Panthers have 4 and 10 now on the year. They're coming losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight when you talk about 2 games. That's nothing to do with it. They've been a little better in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. So their defense gave up the opening drive touchdown, and now, Charles, they're going to look to work this ball down the field and get the equalizer.
Yeah, there's got to be a little bit of balance in how you're thinking and how you're approaching this game, because the way things go in the NFL today, that opening touchdown often changes your strategy. You feel like you have to match everything right here, right now. But I like the way they're being methodical on offense here in their first drive, hoping to get the equalizer, but not forcing anything.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines. It's a room to maneuver. He's going to be out of bounds but not before he takes it inside the 40. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Hey, a really nice gain there. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Mayfield. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucks and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and grandma's put them out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. Well, that's how you use your safety valve, CD. He didn't appear to be the intended target, but they got it to him and he was able to get just enough to pick up the first.
What a great example right now in the NFL, because if you're a running back, you're not just going to carry it. You got to catch it out of the backfield as well. Those combo guys, they're the ones everyone wants on their team.
Hey, order!
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down.
That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good. So the Magic, well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Detroit. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception. giving up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Point it right.
They run again with Hines. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Hines. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Mayfield down from the 50. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Set.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Mayfield down. Right back to Chris Godwin. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action. Mayfield. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now it's Hines. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first.
Hey, alert 33.
Now Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. The 30. 10, 5, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Pistol. Point it right. Real.
From the 31, Mayfield. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, Mayfield. That's complete to the running back, Nyheim Hines. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
This is Hines. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Real.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Mayfield on 3rd and 2. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And the Lions are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And they'll start the drive here with an end around. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Here we go. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. On play action. Here's Tua. He's got his man. That's Ertz downfield. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play there for Detroit. 56 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Up the middle, it's Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
Ready, set.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. They run it again with Williams. And for a 2nd straight play, just nowhere to go thanks to this Carolina defense. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best 1st half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14.
Ready?
Here's Tua. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah that time able to drop him for a loss. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. That's a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and the route is on. It's 24-0. Well, they got the turnover and were able to drive it down, Charles, but ultimately in the end, the defense holds up, and they only come away with the 3 points.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of ground, but when they had to, they settled in and prevented the interception from leading to 6 points. Because you never want to see turnovers turn into any type of points against you, but better to give up 3 than 6.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
picked off by Eli Apple. And the Lions are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the yellow uniform with 4 interceptions here. The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Tyus Bowser blowing that play up.
And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you get a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now or very
lights
quickly.
out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over.
To try again after the sack. Tua under pressure, and they got to him again. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here comes the Lions punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And with great starting field position and 1 timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going.
Alert! Alert! King!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Mayfield looks to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mayfield in trouble, and he's taken down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Fielded at the 43. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Lions will take over.
Let's go now.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment?
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here of this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Tua. Finding Ertz here on the out route. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Ready,
and the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Tua sets up to pass it. Zach Ertz has it complete. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved, because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
Ready. Blaster, 6.
Tua, the final shot before half. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this 2nd half. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative, because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the 2nd half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, That's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
Play fake. Mayfield. Smith catches left side. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing, Mayfield. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
4th down, Mayfield. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A quick throw outline to Mooney, and he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
They'll run straight ahead with Hill. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do, and right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were.
Okay, ready? Hey, go Fury.
Play action. Now it's Tua.
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Eddie Jackson picks it.
And the Panthers are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. The tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. 1st and 10.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Hey, we're 33.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15.
They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays, your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
First down, Mayfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick six is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Following the sack, Mayfield and the Panthers staring at a third and long here. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. It'll be a 45-yard punt, and couple that with a loss on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
Ready?
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 101 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want
under pressure. They got him again. taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though. And they could barely get a glove on it before he got the quarterback on the ground.
And a look at the next-gen stats reveals that sack occurred in all of 2.3 seconds. And you think you want to be an NFL quarterback?
Here we go.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Black shot.
Looking to pass. Tua. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Following the interception, Mayfield. This to Hines on the drop-off. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Point it right.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield finds Hines again for the completion. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. And boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. He tried to do it himself, but couldn't find his way to the marker. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now.
Now, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, but if you look at the great linebackers in history, they all have that ability to innately sense where a play is going, sometimes even before the ball snapped, and they're there, and they end up making the play.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he'll get this past the 20 as he gets about 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Mayfield. Open man has got one. It's complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
How many times we see it? I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass trait in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Zadarius Smith in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
But when this game is done, the credit will go to the consistent pressure on the quarterback as a huge cause of this win. Most teams are happy if they get a few of these games per year. You know they're going to watch this tape over and over, try to identify what's working, and keep it going.
He's got a man, complete, past the 20. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Extra point put through by Boswell, and the lead's down to 24. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. This will be caught by Mooney. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Trouble, 38.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
From the gun, Mayfield. Quick slant here to Smith. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, this game well in hand. Perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Mayfield. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Hey, alert 33.
Mayfield now from the 50. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
Hey, alert! Alert! Hurry, hurry! Up, up! Hurry, hurry! Up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is Smith with a grab. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. A first down throw for Mayfield. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Lions are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things.
Here we go.
They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Now it looks like he'll throw here.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Ready?
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for Detroit,
their hopes of finishing above 500 stay alive as they move to 7-8 now on the year.
And they'll head back.